Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 5th episode of this lovely podcast that we call the Sideliners. It's finals week this week, but staying on the grind as we do. We're dedicated, big football fans over here.
Batteries are not running low, surprisingly.
They kind of are over here.
They are. They are for me,
but
definitely.
We digress.
I don't digress.
That's okay.
They never digress.
College football last week, pretty exciting, setting up for a nice conference championship week. Kind of just a buffer, getting ready for this upcoming week. The big game, obviously, Florida LSU, I would say. LSU pulling off the upset of the year, arguably. That shoe, man.
That
really
shoe.
He just threw the shoe. It's kind of upsetting.
That was amazing. I don't know.
Well, so what's more impressive, that shoe or that field goal?
All of the above.
Yeah, it was all really.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Cade York.
So, for those of you that aren't familiar with the situation, LSU, I want to say it was a 3rd and long.
Yeah.
And they had the ball pretty deep in their own territory, like maybe the 25.
I think they were gonna have to punt from the end zone. I think.
Really? Because I thought after the penalty they got it at the 50.
Maybe.
Sure.
I thought.
Anyway, 3rd and long. The LSU comes pretty far short of the first down, and the Florida guy takes his shoe off and throws it, just chucks it, which is in fact a 15-yard penalty. LSU gets the ball to 50, get a first down, kick a 57-yarder for the win, and yeah. Pretty upsetting end.
Is there a more hated man in Florida right now than
probably not.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
especially for a state to be scared.
Florida man throws shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, it came to life.
That was as an LSU fan, I was very, very excited. That was so fun.
Right.
The entire night was just amazing.
Elsewhere in the SEC, we were speculating maybe a possible upset in Columbia. Maybe Missouri takes down Georgia. And it looked like that for about a quarter. It was 14-14.
Yeah.
And then Georgia took off. They scored 35 unanswered. It's pretty amazing what a quarterback can do on a team with a solid defense and solid weapons. JT Daniels, they're probably happy to have him.
So now where does that leave? Because Mathis is gone after this.
Yeah, he's transferring. He's gone. But I don't think he was up for starting next year anyway. But no, I think Florida's they've got their quarterback. There's something. Some people suggest if they had started JT Daniels from the jump, they'd probably have one loss right now. Maybe it could have taken out Florida, but it didn't seem like anybody was. They didn't even come close to beating Florida that day. Kyle Pitts was kind of on fire. But anyway, North Carolina, probably the most impressive performance of the week. Their running backs combined for over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it reminds us of the couple weeks ago with the Buffalo running back.
Yeah,
Except for that was just one guy. I mean, that Buffalo guy, Jarrett Patterson, that's ridiculous. But it's even it kind of just highlights the dominance. 2 guys did it. I mean, 2 guys.
Yeah,
both of them totally had their way with the Miami defense.
Yeah,
they looked really good. It's a huge win for them. I don't know if they can make a New Year's Six bowl. I'm not really sure, but
I don't think they could. But they're gonna make a high up one.
Well, yeah, but
the U is not back.
No, they
especially at the ACC this year. It looks good to be high in the ACC now.
I guess so. Yeah, the ACC, Notre Dame has added a whole nother level of. Because without it, I think Clemson will be playing Miami in the ACC championship because North Carolina's got 3 losses and Miami only has 2. But. Yeah, that wouldn't be a very exciting game like Clemson.
Funny how things work out.
Right.
All in the end.
Some other playoff action. USC somehow keeping their hopes alive. They have a better chance to make it than, I think, Iowa State and Cincinnati according to the FBI index.
They're higher up in their conference. So if
they're going to finish undefeated, most likely,
and win their conference title. I don't see why they don't make the playoffs, but
I do because they played 5-6 games.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're going to make that argument,
Ohio State,
exactly.
But if you make that argument for both of them, so
So then
A&M should be in, but
then who gets in between somebody like A&M or Cincinnati?
Hey, what if Florida beats Alabama?
Well, A&M's definitely getting in because their only loss is
no, A&M is not definitely getting in. There's
no, I'm
way.
saying out of what you're saying, they would get in over Cincinnati.
Yes, right. They would. We'll talk more about that later, but maybe transitioning over to the NFL. Pretty exciting week.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably game of the year candidate. The Ravens and the Browns. Lamar Jackson.
Do we want to say this? Do we want to call this the you-know-what game?
The poop game?
Yes.
But we don't know, though. I mean, there's some speculation. He officially went out with cramps.
But we all saw the waddle.
Right, but a waddle could be, there's an awkward,
right,
muscle.
It could have been groin or something that where it's awkward.
Right.
It's not
that makes you run awkward. He did look surprisingly nimble and quick.
I saw the presser, and he said that he claimed that it was in his hand.
He claimed.
Well, he claimed that it was in
his hand?
In his hand.
Oh, wow.
In his throwing hand.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Which is
He throws a dot to Marquise Brown right afterwards.
Yeah, the more surprising part is that Marquise Brown didn't
was
drop
insane.
that.
How did he drop 3 in a row?
He's so bad. He's actually so bad.
That was terrible.
I saw some kind of flow chart for Lamar Jackson dropping back, and it's like the flow chart. It's like first read is open, throws it. A, Marquise Brown drops it. B, Mark Andrews catches it for either a touchdown or 5 yards.
Yeah.
C, gets scared anyway and scrambles.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
But that was awesome. Obviously. Fun to watch, especially from a fantasy standpoint.
But before we get into that, the Browns are, even with that loss, the Browns do look legit. Mm-hmm. They played a great game.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying they've been without Odell. I think they've been better. Using more threatening receivers, not just on the deep game, but they've had short game. They've been able to do trick plays with Landry and Higgins has been really good.
The offense is not the problem. It's never been the problem in Cleveland. They've got plenty of talent. It's the secondary is dealing with a ton of injuries. They have possibly the worst secondary and the worst linebacker core in the NFL. Yeah. It's really the defense. The defense is really not it right now, especially dealing with injuries. I think on a more surprising note, the NFC East went 3 for 4 this week. 3 for 4, guys. Mm-hmm. 3 for 4. Unfortunately, the only team that didn't win was the Giants, which is fine.
But we expected it, so
we didn't expect a 3 for 4. We did not expect that.
Well, we expected the Giants to lose.
It's funny that we mentioned that because, I guess 2 things. It's funny how we always get to talk about the NFC East every week because there's always something going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is a historically bad division.
Yeah,
but all of a sudden Washington's 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's actually become a historic or one of the best divisions in the league as of recent weeks. Like they have,
sounds like some recency bias.
They actually have the best win percentage out of all their teams combined in the division.
But where I'm coming from, Eagles beat the Saints, but you can't say the Eagles are the better team than the Saints.
Right. I mean, that was
Jalen
Hurts. Oh my God! That came out of absolutely nowhere. The fact that
pretty upset about that.
I really am kind of still in shock. I wasn't even paying attention to the game, and the first time I kind of checked the score was 17-0, and I was like, oh my God, where did this come from?
And then we score 14.
Yeah,
the
almost
Saints score 14, and it looks like they're coming back, and they just get stopped twice in a row, and it was
insane, really.
It was heartbreaking.
Washington looked like the better team against San Francisco for sure, and the Cowboys. I mean, the Bengals are pretty.
Well, the Bengals are trash.
They're not.
They're
kind of looking to next year already. It seems like, which is understandable. But yeah, the Giants were totally dominated on both sides of the ball. Daniel Jones seems like he's back to his old fumbling ways. He dropped the ball 3 times.
He turned the ball over this week.
Yes, he did. It's been a whole month since that happened. Isn't that unbelievable?
That is actually.
Defense against the Giants.
Yeah, that's probably a good pick.
Progress.
Right. So, I mean, some of that Sunday night, a pretty big game record-wise, the Bills and the Steelers. Mm-hmm. And the Bills looked, pretty dominant all game. Same kind of thing. The Steelers couldn't get the offense going.
Well,
Deontay Johnson.
If I'm being honest,
did I begin?
First and kind of the second quarter, the Bills' offense was not playing well.
And their defense, Steelers
defense was really shutting them down. But I think it's right when they got Devin Singletary fully getting 5-yard runs each run. Then they got it off to Diggs at the end of the second quarter. And
Diggs
the
dominated
quarter,
the game.
And he had the best third quarter out of anyone this year. It was so good.
It was wonderful to watch.
If the Bills had a top tier running back, they would be totally unstoppable.
They would be pretty good. I mean, the amount of dropped passes that the Steelers have it's horrible. I mean, literally, like what is it? The first play of the game, a simple drag route to Deontay Johnson, and he drops it. The
nice thing about this, if you're the Steelers, you've got Deontay Johnson, but you've also got Claypool and Juju and James Washington, and there's a lot of sharing the wealth going on over there. So if one guy maybe isn't having his best day or is having his best day, you can adjust given that.
And with Connor being out, it obviously does suck for the Steelers, but I mean you got to mix up the playbook. I mean you can't have Roethlisberger throwing 50 passes each game and just expect to win.
Yeah, that's like a Texas Tech thing to do.
Yeah.
So fantasy, overall over here, disappointing. I guess I'll start with the sad story so we can end on the happy story, but I guess you say sad story. I needed 37 from Lamar going into Monday night, and I wasn't expecting anything crazy. But then all of a sudden at halftime, he's got 26, and I'm like...
He gave you hope.
Wait a minute. And I was like, nah, false hope. He gets taken out. I'm like, well, there it goes. Comes back, throws a 45-yard touchdown on the first play. Oh, my God. The Browns tied up with a minute left. We're going to overtime. This is going to happen. It's going to happen. But Justin Tucker, he's too good. I mean, he's just too good. So I'll lead that right into your...
yours real quick. You had also a soft story, kind of.
I also was... I mean... we can call it an upset. I had the pleasure of going against Derrick Henry this week.
Oof.
37 points. Yeah. And then I had actually picked up T.Y. Hill in the morning before, but I was like, you know what? He might cool down. I'm going to bench him. He got 26 points. That probably would have won me the game, but I needed 32 points coming in from Chubb going into Monday, and he got 26. He put up a good effort, but ultimately... could not find the end zone for a third time to push me over the edge. Yeah. But leading into that, John, do you want to tell us the amazing story that happened?
On to what Brad said. The winning kick of that Ravens-Browns game put me over the top to win this week.
The amazing thing about it is that Mark Andrews got 3 catches.
He had 3 points. No, he had 4 points for the entire first half. Second half comes... no points in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, in the last, 8 minutes, he gets all of it, the, 10 other points he gets for just a bunch of catches on the last drive. And they set up a 55-yarder?
Yeah, 55.
55-yarder for Justin Tucker, who's my kicker.
And that's easy.
And I was down by 2. He kicks that, and he wins it. And I was going crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
But, so you're advancing to the semifinals of our playoffs, and we are unfortunately in consolation.
And it looks like I'm going to win.
Yeah, you never know, man.
I mean, Keenan Allen being out, that's not nice for who I'm playing, so.
So, yeah.
Thankfully, we're not adults, because I saw a Kenyon Drake tweet, I'm lucky fantasy football doesn't pay my bills, and you have the pleasure of having Kenyon Drake on your fantasy football team
Kenyon Drake had a decent game for me this week.
I mean, but we're looking over the whole season. You could say he's been a little bit disappointing.
Right. Yeah. The fact that I was able to pick him up off the waivers is a little ridiculous anyway.
Yeah.
That's a story for a different day.
I mean, yeah.
We're going to have some off-season He was content. First round, right?
Yeah, and then he was dropped by I would go as far to say incompetent user.
He might have been picked up before Nick Chubb.
No.
In the draft? Yeah.
I picked Chubb 7th.
Yes.
Oh,
you were 7th? I thought we were 11th.
He went 7th? I didn't realize Chubb was that high.
Yeah, I picked... Well, because everybody else had already been picked.
Henry went 7th.
No, Henry
went 6th.
I think so, probably.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Actually, I don't think that's... Anyway, whatever. Yeah. We don't know what we're talking about.
I got the most average running back.
This week, upcoming, huge week of college football. This is kind of what I want to spend most of the time talking about. But, obviously, conference championships... lots of results decided this week. Maybe see some new faces in the playoff. Maybe not.
Probably not.
I mean, here's the deal. Notre Dame or Clemson is going to have to lose.
Yeah.
Now, do you put in a one-loss? Like, the reality, I mean, I think Clemson's going to win that game, as I would assume most people do. Mm-hmm. Do you put the one-loss Notre Dame, with their only loss being to a top 3 Clemson team, do you put them in the playoffs still? Like, there's so many different situations that are going to...
And then
in my opinion, if it's a team that goes to a title and wins the title and is in the Power 5, you're in.
What, like a Florida?
Yeah, but that's not always. That doesn't always hold true.
Yeah,
if Northwestern
true.
beats Ohio State, you put them in the playoff? No.
Well, a one-loss team, if they do it, then they're in.
No, Northwestern is not making the playoff.
What if you lose? I don't know about Notre Dame if they lose.
No, it's really going to be...
Well,
I think the most clear-cut situation, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State win. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like, there isn't really a clear-cut situation because then Notre Dame's out. Maybe.
Yeah, if Notre Dame wins, Clemson's out.
And then what's
Right.
the possibility?
I think Notre Dame would make the 4th spot
If they lose.
if they lost.
So I don't know, though.
Well,
I don't
because
know.
they went to a championship and A&M didn't. And A&M, I mean, you could say maybe Cincinnati, but...
Right. And what if Iowa State beats Oklahoma? Where do they fall?
That's a 2-loss team.
I mean...
Well,
yeah.
Lost to Lafayette.
Yeah.
And then what about the other hand? What if Clemson loses?
They're out.
Then
They have to be out.
I think you can't include a 2-loss.
You can't put a 2-loss team in, especially when there's an A&M who's one loss to number 1 Alabama.
Right. And, like, for example, like where does... I guess an undefeated Coastal has no chance. Or...
Which is unfortunate.
Right.
Yeah, but...
Or an undefeated Pac-12 champ USC. Where do they fall?
That's a big
And there's
question.
lots
I
of-
don't know about that.
Situations that are pretty...
I don't know how they get in.
Yeah, no, it's really tough.
They need a lot of help.
They need a Notre Dame loss and
No, there's literally no clear cut.
no, they need a Clemson loss and an Ohio State loss.
Who
and
does?
then that's USC.
Right, but then...
Because Ohio State's gonna go over.
So
USC.
you're gonna put...
They like Ohio.
You're gonna
State.
put USC in over A&M? Undefeated Pac-12 champ
No, you
USC?
put both of them in.
Wow.
I'm
Wait, what?
saying, Clemson loses. They have 2 losses.
They're out.
Right.
Ohio State loses.
Ohio
they're
State
out.
loses. No, they're out to a conference championship winner and A&M, who's only lost to Alabama.
Right, so, but... And then you're assuming Iowa State
Oh,
lost
but that
as well?
takes the Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
But then what about undefeated Cincinnati? They actually play they play Tulsa, who's not to be looked over. I mean, Tulsa's
Yeah.
ranked.
There is so many scenarios.
Right, I
Yeah.
think we're gonna have to discuss next week after it all plays out.
Yeah.
Although I'm not gonna be in town. That's fine.
It'll be all right.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that. I guess let's go through each game one by one and make some picks.
Right.
We'll start it off with so the Pac-12 championship is supposed to be USC and Washington, but Washington's dealing with I think had like 30 COVID cases. Mm-hmm. So we're subbing in Oregon, who has looked extremely disappointing. They were supposed to be the best team in the Pac-12, but
By far.
Don't they already have 2 losses?
yeah, they lost their last 2 games. They lost to Oregon State and Cal.
Cal,
Wow.
who's been all right, but Oregon
Oregon State.
State,
Oregon
that's
State.
a terrible
It's
loss.
bad. So
That
I
is-
think USC does get it done.
Oh yeah,
It's hard. Honestly, in every single one of these games this week, it's really hard to pick an upset.
Yeah, I kind of
So-
wanted to spice it up. Just
I know.
because of
I feel you. It just doesn't seem very plausible.
Yeah, but in a way, one of them's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know,
unless
though. I don't know.
maybe it won't be. Hopefully, we get close games though.
Right. Speaking of a game that's not going to be close, Northwestern and Ohio State. That's not going to be close.
After that loss to Michigan State, it's just all gone downhill. That was.
They took care of business against Illinois last week, but I mean, we'll see. Maybe the Wildcats surprise us this week. Probably not, though.
Probably not.
Oklahoma and Iowa State. I feel I said Oklahoma when they were 0-2, they were still going to win the conference, and so far they have not let me down. In their last big game, Bedlam, I would say dominated, and I see a similar thing going on.
Yeah.
On Saturday, unfortunately, and it's going to be pretty boring. I think, too.
Iowa State's had so many close games with these Pac-12 teams that
Big 12
OU
teams.
had
Big 12.
Big 12 teams that OU has just blown out.
No,
Like,
Oklahoma's the best team in the conference.
yeah, I mean, I know they had to get adjusted with the new quarterback and everything, but now they're settled in and they're gonna win.
Right. That just I guess it just speaks volume to the Big 12's lack of a true dominant force.
Yeah.
Outside. Well, and I say that, but OU has. I mean, they are that team.
No, they're the dominant force in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard to imagine someone coming out of the Big 12 other than OU.
But you saw that early in the season, and you're like, wow, can they even make this back? And then you called it. I mean,
yeah, they did.
I mean,
of course they did.
Wise, I could see Texas.
Right, but Texas just
and
isn't
I could
in the
see
right
OSU.
place.
Yeah.
But they're
Texas
both
just isn't
just.
right. Oklahoma State dealt with some injuries, and
Yeah.
they're just not. They're not the caliber program that Oklahoma is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
mind over matter.
Also, coaching. Important.
Mike Gundy's a decent coach, but he's not the same coach as Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
All right. Probably the biggest one, Clemson and Notre Dame. Maybe are we differing at all here? Is anyone going with the Irish?
I have
I
Clemson.
It's not happening.
I have
It's not
Clemson.
happening.
I have
I think
Clemson.
Clemson was by double digits.
They beat him. They barely beat him without Trevor Lawrence. He put in one of the best players in the league.
If not the best player.
Yeah, and then they're winning. So
Yeah, I think Clemson gets it done by double digits.
Bold. Well, is that even a bold statement?
I know. I don't know.
yeah,
Although again, I mean, I feel like I tend to do this a lot, but betting against an undefeated team isn't always. I mean, Notre Dame's undefeated for a reason. Mm-hmm. They haven't really played a close game other than Clemson. I mean, I'm sure they have.
I think their North Carolina game was kind of close.
Maybe.
I
I don't know. They really haven't been on upset watch too much.
Yeah.
Then you've got Alabama and Florida, which was a much more exciting game last week when we were thinking about it. But now that Florida's lost some momentum, I don't know. They still could get it done. They have favored by 17. They look like no one's beating them. No one's beating them at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, who could? Right? Devontae Smith.
It's weird. I saw Elite College Football say Devontae Smith is his Heisman, which is an interesting take.
It just in today's state of college football, it's really hard to give it to someone that's not a quarterback.
Right.
And that hasn't happened since
Or running.
Since
I
what?
mean,
I want to say Barry Sanders. No,
Charles Woodson.
No. Barry Sanders went after Charles Woodson. But did Derrick Henry win it?
Derrick Henry won. Yes, Derrick Henry won.
Did he?
Mark Ingram won.
Yeah, he's
Mark Ingram is probably
Who's
the last
recent
one.
running back?
The Charles Woodson was the most
TJ
recent
Yeldon.
defensive player.
Did
Right.
Yeldon win?
No. Mark Ingram definitely did, and I want to say Derrick Henry did.
We have to fact check
Yeah, no,
that.
Derrick Henry definitely did.
I got this. Did Derrick Henry win the Heisman? Yes, he did.
Okay.
So
I feel
that's
like
the most
there's
recent.
more Alabama running backs, though.
There was
Who was McAaron's year?
that was,
when they won.
Was that not TJ Yeldon?
That might have been.
Whatever. He didn't win the Heisman. I'm
Okay,
pretty
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that it kind of just goes to show how dominant he's been.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it. But that is in the absence of Jalen Waddle, who was arguably having a better year than him before he got hurt.
I think I heard that they're going to sit him out this game.
Jalen Waddle?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't
Although
know what I'm
after that loss to LSU, Florida might be
Oh, I don't see it.
going for blood.
I
don't see them winning.
They do have
but
nothing
they
to lose, though.
Yeah,
they totally have nothing.
nothing.
They're either going for blood or their soul
Laying
is
an
just
egg.
shattered.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the other one I wanted to mention is we have a rematch of earlier in the season of Louisiana Lafayette and Coastal. And Coastal won this game on a last-second field goal early in the season, and I remember, oh man, the announcers said as soon as they made the field goal, we'll see these two teams again in December. Mm-hmm. And here we are. Coastal's favored, as they should be. They're undefeated, but definitely not, a game to just look over. They have the possibility to finish as one of the few undefeated teams in college football this year.
And hats off to them for doing that.
Yeah, but it really just is unfortunate that the same thing with Cincinnati if they finish undefeated and don't make the playoff.
They're just not.
That's just the reality of
the big name programs.
Yeah, I think I'm impressed with them for scheduling BYU or BYU scheduling them, however it went down, but
and then beating them.
Right, that's kind of the reality of college football these days.
I'm gonna have to go against that. I think Lafayette's. I think they're winning this.
That's your spicy pick of the week.
Yeah, that's my
Nice.
spicy pick of the week.
I like.
Coastal,
They're not.
yeah, they've been able to get it done.
I'm feeling the
but
magic. I'm feeling the
hasn't-
magic.
It
I
hasn't
do
been
too.
close, is what I'm.
Who are you picking?
It's
I'm picking
all-
Coastal.
Thank you.
It's all been so close with Coastal, and I think this might be the team to take them over and actually beat them.
I'm like the spicy meter that's like maybe lemon pepper.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Lemon pepper. Anyway,
I thought that was pretty spicy.
pretty lame week coming up in the NFL this week. The big game is the Chiefs and the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
playoff implications.
right, the Chiefs have been dominant. The Saints have been dominant up to last week. Talk about Drew Brees returning, but not sure.
I think you could say both teams have been completely dominant this year besides the last couple of weeks. I mean,
well,
the Chiefs did not, or at least the Chiefs offense, that first half against the Dolphins. If they play like that against the Saints, they are losing.
They still won by double digits. The Dolphins are a good team.
Yeah,
the Dolphins are
I
a good
know,
team.
but the way they played in that first half, especially Patrick Mahomes, it wasn't great.
I think they get it done easy.
And
I think the Chiefs get it done too.
I have the Chiefs. Don't worry, but I'm also saying that very close win over Denver. I mean, they didn't play well in that either. So I think both teams have been dominant up until kind of recent weeks, but I do see the Chiefs beating the Saints, even though I'm a Saints fan, which is sad.
Great awareness.
But I mean,
Beyond
they're the best team in the league.
Right.
I mean,
another team to watch for. Washington has won three in a row, 4 in a row, one of those two, and they take on Seattle, who were upset by the Giants a couple weeks ago. Do we think they can continue their winning streak?
I think Russell Wilson will need to have one of those early MVP type performances to win this game because I just that run defense in Washington is really good.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
And Chris Carson's a good running back, but Wilson has to win that game for them.
I agree.
yeah, that's true. I do have Washington winning that. I think.
Oh, nice.
That's a spicy pick.
That's a good pick.
They have been so good. That defense is just insane. I've been saying it all year. They've been really good. I just think, again, I mean...
I think Seattle gets it done. I think they recovered. They looked dominant against the Jets, I know. But Washington, I think their magic kind of runs out temporarily. And Seattle knows they need to win this game.
Right.
They know. I mean, they're still in the
true.
competitive NFC West. The Cardinals won last week. The Rams
Aren't the Rams
last week.
in the
they're
lead?
so good.
The Rams are in the lead.
I want to say that.
Yeah, I think they're 9-4. I think they're in the lead with that. Is 9-4
Not sure.
or 10-3?
It's a must win for
They're
Seattle.
not 10-3.
It's a must win for Seattle, and I think that
Yeah.
they also get it done.
Yeah, I do. The last game I want to discuss, Patriots and the Dolphins. The Patriots last week looking pretty sad.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins lost as well, but, to the Chiefs. And I know, again, some boring picks for me this week, but I think Miami gets it done.
Yeah.
This one I think could be closer, though.
Although, Miami needs to win this game. This is important for them, for the 7th spot. Because is it not between them and the Ravens right now?
Yeah, the Ravens. And so the AFC playoff
And the
picture.
Titans.
Right, the Titans.
I thought the Titans and the Colts.
And
One of them
and the Browns.
Yeah, and the
One
Browns.
of them's going to be one, and then the Browns are going to be the other wild card. So the third would have to be the Ravens or the Dolphins.
Right, exactly.
I'm actually going to spice things up a little bit. I have the Pats. I think,
and you can't forget about the Raiders either.
right? They're on the outside looking in, but
They'll win tonight. They should win tonight. against
They
the
should
Chargers.
win tonight. That's true.
I actually have the Pats winning this game. I think Belichick conquers his demons.
It's always easy to pick the Patriots when they have Belichick.
Yeah.
Right.
Easy.
And actually with that win over Miami, the Patriots help Buffalo clinch a spot, as I do think Buffalo is going to win this week, and I also think Pittsburgh's going to win this week, and they will both clinch playoff spots if that holds.
Yeah. Some other big headlines, I guess. The Giants, as of very recently, having some COVID issues. Obviously, Daniel Jones not playing due to an ankle sprain. But Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator, got COVID, and James Bradbury is also sitting this one out because he was exposed, which is not good.
It's the Freddie Kitchens game.
Freddie Kitchens' play calling game against his old team that he coached last year on primetime Sunday night.
I mean, is he not the best offensive coordinator in the
Garrett?
league? Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
He is
The
not
Giants.
bad.
The thing is, the Giants' offense sucks.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, with that offensive line and everything,
and
difficult.
a lack of a certain Saquon. Also
Yeah.
doesn't help
I
for
miss
sure.
him so much.
That is your man crush, isn't it?
He's up there along with Dicker. It's a good top 2.
Hey, I might have to put Cade York up there for me now.
Yeah. But Dicker's so just like...
No, it will always and forever be Joe Burrow.
Always and forever. Okay. Well, that seems like a good place to leave it off. Happy holidays from us here at Sideliners. We probably will not be here next week, and maybe not the week after either. We'll see.
Much disappointment.
But we'll be here with y'all in spirit as we watch some holiday football.
Yeah.
So this has been episode 5. Signing off.
Thank y'all for
Signing
watching.
off. Happy holidays.